Dante is our 56th warframe to enter the library, and he can be pretty strong. Holy shit, we did it! If you're new here, my name is Xironium and I like to have fun. Put stupid builds together that may or may not work. And today, we're talking scribes. Quick disclaimer before we begin, Dante is currently bugged. As squad leader, you do your max damage, but if you're invited into a squad and you're not the squad lead, your damage is at the bottom. I hope DE manages to fix that. Okay, back to the video. Hi, Future Xyron here. As of today, they hotfixed it and it should be functioning as normal now when in a squad. Now let's go over his abilities first. His first ability summons a grimoire weapon that deals slash damage with a high 30% crit chance, and it ties in well with his fourth ability, more on that later. His second ability is called Light Verse and will grant overguard and increase his health. 2 Light Verses will massively boost your overguard depending on how much strength you have. The third ability is Dark Verse. You deal 2 instances of slash damage on the enemy, making them sustain bleed procs. Casting his ability twice will prime Tragedy, more on that later, and you stacked 4 bleed procs on the enemy. His last and most powerful ability is called Final Verse, which can only be used if you have casted 2 other abilities. 2 lights, followed by Final Verse, you summon Triumph, which not only gives overguard, but also regenerates your overguard shield. 2 dark summons Tragedy, which detonates all damage over time procs in a single burst, like gas and slash damage, dealing massive amounts of damage, as you saw in the intro clip. A light then a dark summons Word Warden. This ability buffs damage for all of your weapons and for your allies as well. A dark then light summons Page Flight, 3 peregrine birds that seek out enemies, so you do increased damage on the enemy as well. Combining Word Warden and Page Flight, so a 2-3-4 and then a 3-2-4, allows Tragedy to deal some insane damage while buffing your team. And you can use his Noctua if you want to deal more slash procs on the enemies, making them easier to kill with Tragedy. I built Dante for a healthy dose of ability, strength and range, followed by some duration. Not focusing on efficiency at all, basically, as his abilities do not take a lot of energy. I paired him with a Dirga and a Hellstrom set to vital damage, which seems to work well. Now Dirga can also use Synth Deconstruct to drop health orbs, which Equilibrium can use to turn it into energy so you can keep casting your abilities. The basic gameplay loop is simple. You hop into a mission, cast Word Warden and Page Flight, then you go around using your third to slash enemies, followed by Tragedy, your fourth ability. And if they don't die from just his third, you can use Tragedy to insta-nuke most, if not all, the enemies. It's important to note here that Word Warden not only gives you overguard, but also your companion and your team, as long as you're within enemy range, or affinity range. You ever see a Nidus or a companion with over 10k overguard? Well, that's a sight to behold. I personally don't use his Noctua, so I consider it a subsume slot. Instead, I use a Cedo to prime the enemies if I need to. But in general, his excellent efficiency combined with a companion using Synth Deconstruct should be enough to keep your abilities flowing. This is an amazing frame and I really hope it doesn't get nerfed. He can survive, nuke, support. It's like a Trinity and a Seren rolled into one. He's kind of amazing right now. But that's gonna be it for me for today. If you liked the video, please consider dropping a like, and if you want to see more dumb stuff, do consider subscribing. I stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday over on Twitch and here on YouTube, and we do regular giveaways over on Twitch for things that I personally farmed. But, as always, remember to stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated.
Won't let you fire me, won't let you drag me down.